Hey, it's Jason. Welcome to WordPress Foundations. This is Module 1, an introduction to WordPress. This video is titled, Why WordPress? So why WordPress? Well, WordPress is pretty much the de facto standard when it comes to blogging platforms. Why? Because it can do just about anything you could possibly imagine. WordPress is open source, which means that anybody can view the source code, write plugins, or help make improvements to the platform. It's also very, very flexible. WordPress has one of the most active communities on the internet. If you have a problem, chances are finding a solution will take very little time. Now let's go back to where I said it's open source. Now what does open source mean and why is that important? Well, open source means that anybody can view the source code, and because anybody can view the source code, anybody can edit the source code and add functionality, add improvements, and it's a whole lot easier. So what this means to you is if you have an idea or a plan or a plugin or something, somebody can go ahead and do that and fix it and send that to you instantly. And you can view the code. There's not going to be anything malicious or hidden inside. So if you take the operating system approach, which is kind of like something most people can understand, you have Linux, which is this open source operating system. It's totally free, doesn't cost a penny, and anybody can view the source code, anybody can edit the source code, compile it, put their name on it, do whatever they want to do, and it doesn't cost a penny. So if there's a problem, you know, it can get updated and fixed fast. If somebody wants to make a custom version of a certain program that has certain features, like for example, there's this program called the GIMP. This is a image manipulation program, it means graphic image manipulation program. So with GIMP, it's got this unique interface that you either love it or you hate it. But somebody created this thing called GIMP Shop, which was an extension onto the GIMP, which basically makes the GIMP work exactly like Adobe Photoshop. It just basically changes the UI, which is the user elements, the user interface. I'm just saying this because since it's open source, that was possible, and that little change on GIMP, making it into GIMP Shop, like revolutionized the program. People got really excited about it because people that couldn't use it because they didn't get the interface can now get the interface because of that customization. And because it's open source, it's totally free. Just like WordPress, it's free. It doesn't cost anything. They're not charging you. Compare this to something like, oh, I don't know, Microsoft Windows, which is notoriously closed source. If there's a bug or something that needs to get fixed, some random dude's not going to be able to fix the problem. It's going to have to be somebody that works inside Microsoft. Now, not only is that person in Microsoft going to have to solve that problem, they're going to have to test the problem, get a fix for it, run it up the ranks and the different levels inside the office of Microsoft before it gets pushed out and developed in something that you can actually download. With open source, there's none of this stuff to deal with. It's like 1 second and it's fixed, and that's powerful. So like I said, it's highly customizable. If you can dream it, WordPress can achieve it. There's a large community and problems are no longer a problem. So if you have a problem, you can just contact somebody. You can go to the forums, ask a question like, hey, I'm getting this error, how do I fix it? And somebody can respond and they'll help you. It's open source community and people are really nice and friendly here, which is another reason why you want to use WordPress instead of like some arcane system that you just not even figure out, but nobody even cares about. With WordPress, a lot of people care because it's really great and I really love it. WordPress has like totally revolutionized how I do everything and I think it's just amazing. So like I said, it's perfect for anyone. And here's like just a couple of the reasons why I would recommend WordPress to anyone, be it a Fortune 500 company, to the mom and pop store down the street, to the guy who wants to run a membership site, or the photographer who just wants to showcase his photo. It'll even work for the little girl who wants to talk about what her cat ate for breakfast. So for starters, the price. It's 100% free. It doesn't cost 1 cent. Second is, like we said earlier, it's 100% customizable. You can change the look, add in special features, tone it down, scale it up. There's really no limit to what you can do with WordPress. And what's more important is you're never locked in. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and you've seen some of the reasons why we're using WordPress opposed to other places. Now there are other services that you can use such as Joomla, Tumblr, Movable Type, whatever you want to do, but WordPress is my favorite and it's a lot of people's favorite, so that's the one I'm going to be covering. Also, if I started teaching you Joomla in a WordPress Foundations course, that would just be weird, right? So follow along in the next video. We're going to go ahead and talk about the difference between WordPress.com, which is the hosted version, and WordPress.org, which is what you would install for your own website. All right, I'll talk to you soon.